we should be live.
Hello, welcome again to episode 14 of Geist the Sin Eater's Second Chances. Hopefully, the technical issues are taken care of. How will we all sound, everybody?
Sounds good on my end.
Sounds good in the Twitch window.
It sounded okay to me.
All
Yep.
right. So, again, second chances here having been what it usually takes for us to get the audio working, this entire thing. I do apologize to everyone who's been holding with us this whole time, but I hope you've enjoyed the running joke at least.
So, today is Thursday, November 30th, 2023. It's been 3 days in world since the last time the crew met up. What has everyone been doing with their downtime?
I'll go first, if that's okay. All right,
Sure.
so day one, Nathan spent time with prom queen, asked about like her retribution or closure preferences, and searched into trying to find her remaining family. She's apparently floating upside down, stroking her chin in thought, and after a while, she says that she doesn't really remember much about her life, and hadn't even thought about having a family anymore, but she wonders if they'd remember her if she did. And also, I found out that the only surviving McElroy left in Whispering Peaks was her younger brother, who was in middle school at the time of her death. These days, he's a middle manager who used to work at Farmer Kimball's until the Kimball's big box store opened. Now he works there as an assistant manager. Day two, I did a deep dive into my own family history after our last session to learn more about Tom and talk to Grandma. Thomas Cartwright, as per my research, was my great grandfather on my grandpa's side. Grandma says that Grandpa didn't talk about him much, but most folks in town knew him as a kind of a wackadoo that did tarot readings at the bar that, at the time, was called the Strangled Cat. He was known to wander around town talking about various spiritual mumbo jumbo, ghosts especially. He died in the early 70s, and his full on embrace of mysticism drove Grandpa into the arms of the church where she and Grandpa first met. And then day three, I tried to find some drill equipment so that we could maybe pick up a cast off or schedule a factory tour or something. And Whispering Peaks is not exactly the manufacturing center of Colorado, so our best bet to find any drills bigger than like the handheld power tools are going to be with contractors or whatnot. That was me.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
Okay.
Alrighty, who's next?
So, for me, the first thing I did is we heard the words founding families a while back. And we've been running into a lot of people who have deep ties into the histories of this place. So I decided to investigate that for my first day. After a little bit of historical research, there hasn't been any civic significance to it for about 100 years now. But historically, the five families who were involved in all three attempts to settle Whispering Peaks in 1775, 1830, and 1880 were referred to as the founding families and were celebrated during the Founders Day Festival. Founders Day was canceled after the Hollywood gassings and was never revived. The five families that show up in the records of the Founders Day celebrations going back to 1881s were the Kimballs, the Campbells, the Doyles, the Dibblers, and the Kinnisons. So, the Kimballs, we know. The Dibblers, well, that was our cool con man who had a cat, and who the kid of which is currently in the supernatural club we're in. Ethan, isn't your last name Campbell? Am I misremembering?
Barlow.
Barlow. Who was Campbell? Never mind. Um, and the Kinnisons. Apparently me. Weird. Super weird. So I have to figure out about what's going on with my parents and possibly our family. Whew. So, lots of fun stuff to go on. That's what we're following down. And, yeah. Second day, I spent with Ethan over here and had him teach me one of his haunts. And I may have picked up 2 dots in the call now. So I'm turning into a combat monster. I hope everyone is excited.
And we'll have to have more combat for you.
It's okay. I will make sure that I will enjoy what I get. It's just I know that there is a couple of combats up ahead, and one of them I want to win. And last, I did our usual rituals. And, well, there's a number of things that I'm about to be handed by Ethan during his day actions, and I spent the afternoon setting them on fire in front of an adult, according to my favorite ritual, used for disposing of woodsy costumes back in the day. Alrighty.
Alrighty. So let's see here. Where? Okay. So, uh, first day action. Talk to Old Man Houlihan and about joining our little crew here. And he seems readily willing to do that. So we're gonna want to do that soonish. Um, then got some random. Oh, hydrate.
Hydrate comes
Hydrate.
in a little glass vial.
Little glass vial.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for so much today,
Thank you.
Mike.
Let's see here. So second day action gave Ty a cattle prod, some brass knuckles, and a stab vest to turn into ghostly items, which if you're in our Discord, you can see in the equipments chat. And then the last day, let's see here, what did that do? My apologies, been a little bit here. Oh yeah, and on the last day, I spent some time spending I spent some time spreading rumors and outright slander about Todd Kimball, and people were very readily willing to believe it, so much to the point where I didn't even have to roll to do it. He is not well thought of in the Chosen of Mammon.
Alrighty. So, now that we've gone over everyone's downtime, let's go ahead and get started. Today's Thursday, November 30th, 2023. Where are you and what you doing?
Well, I believe that we'll have just got done with school. I'm having a quick chat with a friend of mine at the Paranormal Society. Miss D's grandkid.
Alrighty. You were looking for Barbara Palmer Reed?
Yes, Barbara Palmer Reed.
Alrighty. Was there anything in specific that you wanted to talk to her about, or did you simply want to be interacting with her?
Basically, I wanted to set up an excuse that we would be able to hang out with them later on this evening. Just have engineered a reason for us to stop by and say hello.
Alrighty.
Can I throw some dice at that, possibly with the help of a friend?
Sure.
I think a composure plus socialize or presence plus socialize, one of those.
Yeah, composure is more of a defense stat, so I think presence would work better for that.
You want some company and assistance?
Absolutely, because I've got 4 dice on that, and I would really prefer to be swinging a little harder than that.
What was it? Presence plus socialize?
Yeah.
All right, let me assist. Find the dice roller channel. There we go. Add 2.
Alrighty.
Two successes on that roll.
This is important, so I'm going to start off by burning a willpower. So that's going to be a grand total of 9 dice. If we can't make it with 9 dice, I don't know what to do. That is an exceptional success.
Hell yeah.
All right. Considering that the two of you know the president of the Paranormal Society, it's not hard to walk in, so to speak. Chloe waves you through from behind a stack of paranormal books. And over in the corner of the room is where you find your mark. The Paranormal Society's club room is a small classroom that isn't really used anymore. You reckon that it could fit maybe 20 students tops. Right now, instead of desks, it has a couple of long card tables set up on either side of the room with a lane for walking between them. The walls have bookshelves mostly. A quick glance at them shows that they're mostly full of different magazines and books about various supernatural phenomenon. There's also a wall dedicated to a cork board covered in little bits of paper, newspaper clippings, and various colored strings. The mark in question for today's session was one Barbara Palmer Reed. You don't know much about her, other than she's Deanne Palmer's granddaughter. She's a junior, a year below the three of you. She has short hair about chin length, with the ends dyed a vibrant blue. She's flip paging through a magazine that's talking about various cryptids. When she sees the two of you enter, she looks up. So you got 5 successes. What are you saying to her to get her to show up?
So, what we are trying to do is organically get ourselves invited over to their place. And I am doing my best to figure out a way to do that. Does anyone have better social brain in their head right now? Or am I just going to wing it?
So who's your favorite? Mothman or Sasquatch?
Without looking up from her magazine, she says Sasquatch isn't real. Now, Yetis, she says, turning another page, those are real. But the but the Sasquatch is just continuation of Yeti mythos.
I thought it was like a regional speciation type deal.
Are you here too?
Sure, sure.
She shrugs. That's kind of splitting hairs, but she stops for a moment to tap on the desk. That would explain a few things.
Hydrate.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Rose.
you,
Hydrate,
Rosie.
everybody.
Missed y'all.
Yeah, I definitely have been missing this.
Rosie doing our best to make sure we've got an intermission up and coming.
Hey,
Kenny, hold your hand up to your
camera,
camera.
What?
you're out of focus. Hold
Hold
your
your
hand
hand
up
up.
like this, and then bring it back.
A little bit slower.
Weird.
This
Our
is new.
storyteller has gone to the great beyond. It is fuzzy there.
Kenny's
Olive
in
is
the
now our
ethereal
new
plane.
ST.
Right. Well, focus on the cat.
Okay.
No,
See
it will
here.
not. Let's try something else. Briefly. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, so I genuinely have no idea how to fix this.
There,
Um,
there's the standard IT troubleshooting step. Unplug it and plug it back in.
I don't think he can reach that.
Okay. Bear with me momentarily. Everyone else continue. They do not need to see my face to listen to you.
Hi,
Alright.
Void. Yes, they are.
I hope you guys really enjoy the visuals that are about to happen with regards to our positioning. It's nothing I can do anything about. Anyways.
Oh,
so,
look, with the framing, y'all can see my mouse pad. Let's just cover that up. Yeah, Void, these are my migraine sunglasses.
There we go.
I think that fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
go.
all of you did it.
Yeah.
well done, Olive. All right, so
It's nothing too bad. It's just Corazon.
we seem to have gotten a bit of rapport going.
So I believe we were talking about possible speciations regarding the oh I forgot what the scientific the supposed scientific name was. It's like human giganticus. I don't know. Whatever the big the Bigfoot and Sasquatch and all that stuff.
I don't know. I feel like Sasquatch could be real. I've seen a lot weirder.
So, what are the three of you talking to me for? She says.
Uh, well, I found this book that I think belongs to your grandma, and I was wondering if we could drop by, say hi, and get it back to them. I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to talk to you guys, and it felt weird to just show up at your door.
It's a store, she says. Lots of people go there. We don't actually send out invitations.
Maybe you should.
She goes back to her magazine, chuckling to herself and saying, yeah, maybe business would pick up if we actually invited people to come buy some candy and nuts.
I get the feeling that Kenny thinks I'm being a little silly by this endeavor because I was trying to go to their house, not to their storefront.
Oh, could have said that.
Because that was where I was trying to get invited to, not to the storefront, because I thought we might not want to talk about the fact that she's, a warlock or
Related
whatever
to a
the fuck it's
murderer?
called.
Thank you,
Necromancer?
Void.
Necromancer, I think is the term.
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
we call those vampires, love.
No, vampires the ones who runs the disco.
Mm.
And you
Sorry,
Lex,
I thought you said necromancer.
Uh,
Regardless,
Barbara.
the one day I have to have social grace, and I just cannot find it in my head. I'm so sorry, guys.
Barbara would like to be friends. I'm saying this, Kenny, out of character. In character, it's much more social.
We're trying to get involved with the paranormal society after everything that's gone down, and we just want to try and get to know everyone.
Except that guy, he looks weird.
I'm right here.
Barbara glances up at Chloe, who gives her a slight nod. And she looks back at you. The three of you do notice the locket that she's wearing. It gives off a feeling of deathly power.
It's the same
But
one we
that's all
saw
you
in
can-
the. Sorry, is it the same one we saw in the flashback?
No, that was a ring.
No, the one hanging around what's her name's neck in the
girl's
movie
neck.
theater.
Yes, the one, Agnes Foster, that was a ring.
Oh. Maybe I'm misremembering then.
So, she says, you want to be friends? Okay. So, you also want to return something to my grandma? Okay. What am I supposed to do about this?
Well, why don't you invite us over? We'll bring brownies.
Hang
They'll
out.
be normal brownies, except they'll have a peanut butter swirl on top, and that's a bonus. And we get to knock out two birds with one stone, and then we're friends.
And we can talk about the chupacabra or your other preferred cryptids, because I'm honestly not sure which ones are kicking around in this neck of the woods.
She rolls her eyes theatrically and then says, okay, sure, as long as you bring snacks here. She writes down her address and phone number and then hands it to Ty and then says, all right, now we're trying to do some research, so skedaddle. And next time you're looking for a girl's phone number, you don't have to bring friends.
despite
Ty
Despite-
skedaddles. Face turning a shade of crimson you had not seen before.
and before walking off, I'll lean down and like he doesn't know how to do this kind of thing. He needed a little bit of reassurance, and then I walk away.
I turned to you and said, I do know that you can't be killed. I just want you to know that.
Fuck, you weirdo. That was out of character. Please Please know that that was out of character. In character, it would have just been a look like, like, I know you're not the serial killer, but maybe they don't know you're not the
This
serial
was
killer.
after we'd gotten away, of course.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
was
of course.
a private aside after he had obviously embarrassed me. Further, after I'd already gotten out of there.
I thought you were talking to her, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, I was talking to him after he'd
Okay.
gotten back, after he did that thing.
Okay.
I was very clearly said to Ethan,
Mhm.
you know, I know that you can't die, so maybe be more careful.
Cat.
Warcat, yes.
It
She is here.
it explains away the awkwardness of all that, okay? And why it was kind of a little bit out of the blue.
Yeah, well, I didn't know how to say your your grandma's magic and also nice locket. Do you want to know what it does? That seems a lot easier to do outside of a school setting.
Oh no, Olive, are your claws caught in my shirt?
Oh,
We're having a
no.
day. So, with that having been done, everyone, we're time to go to. It's absolutely not not a just your average big box store. It's a Kimball's.
Pinballs.
So you guys want to head out to the Kimball's big box store?
Yep,
Yeah,
I've
I
got
would
some
like to get
groceries to pick up
away
and some
from
vengeance
Barbara.
to plan.
Any specific objectives for today's please do not knock over my drink again, Olive. Any specific
Pick up
objectives besides knocking over my drink?
picking up some popcorn and munchos, grabbing some sodas, and meeting the person that we are going to hunt eternal vengeance upon.
I would also possibly like to see if we can see Josie's brother in passing. Did Olive unfocus your fucking camera again?
Yep.
Oh, so that's what does it.
Yeah, her tail. It
It's,
focuses on her tail.
Well, now I know. And I think that worked. Did it?
close
No.
enough.
It's not too bad.
Anyway,
Maybe if I pick up Olive again.
No. All right.
Yeah, I think that works.
all right. So, that having been done.
Oh, no, that did not, did it?
Anyways,
Continue. I'm going to fix it. Just continue.
Need to put a hand to it, then quickly to the side of the frame so it jumps to you. Okay. Let it focus on your hand first.
Get a sec.
Okay, now quick. Why does your camera do this?
no, boss. Anyways,
Okay, anyway.
so we're heading to Wally World, and we're gonna go pick up some sodas, some drinks, learn about the target of our vengeance, try to hack into the local systems. You know, the usual things you do when you go to a big box store.
Yeah. See what you can carry out the emergency door without setting off the alarm.
Let's not get the cops called on us if we can help it.
How much of a show do we want to put on for this?
We do have a second stop today, so maybe not a huge one.
Let's play it by ear. Nonetheless, this is your show, so you lead the dance. I'll follow up on it.
Yep.
Okay. I open the boneyard.
Oh God.
All right, so the group is going to head to Kimball's. Kimball's is a fairly newly opened big box store, having only opened a couple weeks ago, spun off from the mayor's family's brand, the Farmer Kimball's grocery store. Uh, you guys remember when this was the S Mart? It was a little run down, but the food court had the best hot dogs in town. The place is practically unrecognizable.
My
The
uncle used to
name
buy all his
the,
ammo from there.
the name Kimball's is spelled out on the sign in huge red block font with everything but the I being uppercase, the I being lowercase with a stylized a globe as a dot for the I. Underneath is a smaller sign with the new chain's uh, slogan. We love you at Kimball's.
Welcome to Costco.
We love you.
I love it here already.
As the three of you approach, a older man looks up at you, smiles, and says, "Welcome to Kimball's, where we love you."
I get through the door as cleanly as possible.
Hey, nope. I have to stay in character. Alright, we're good.
Alright, so...
Inside, the big box store has some of the brightest fluorescent lights you have ever seen. You hardly cast a shadow in here. The red motif from the sign continues indoors, with all the shelves and signage being bright red.
Color theory.
Various arrows on the floor point to different departments. Towards the front of the building, there is the cash registers. About 3/4 of them are automated, but there are half a dozen manned cash registers doing fairly brisk business. Did you actually want to roll for the boneyard?
Do it.
I'm sorry to have cut you off, but I felt like I should at least describe the area.
Mm-hmm. Let me double check that I can do what I think I can.
Also,
Yeah.
Mike says that the boneyard is my Hollow Soul Bard's bedroom in my homebrew.
But,
Nice.
So, Tibbs, if anything else, there is one reason we might wish to do this.
Okay.
While you have the boneyard up, you know where everyone inside here is, which means that we would be able to find unattended electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, we'd also be able to find Todd.
Yep.
We do remember from last time, that while you know the position, you do not know the identity.
Yeah. So, okay. So are we here to confront, or are we here to gather information?
I think you're
That's
here
up
to
to you.
confront. You need to at least see this guy and also let, Meathead see this guy. You don't need to have a big old conversation about it, but you should probably run into him so Meathead can have his, moment.
Mhm.
Also, this is the guy whose phone you set up for all outgoing calls to go to the suicide prevention hotline, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Like, we are already at aggressive action. You may as well get started.
Okay. So, let's see here.
And we
Where
also
is
need to
the-
hack while we're here. We need to get into these systems somehow.
Mhm.
That's what I had on the books for today. Meanwhile, I'm just taking the opportunity to rove the lanes trying to look normal and shopping for some snacks.
Alrighty. So in that case, let's do the Boneyard with the Key of Pyre Flame. So that's that.
Are you going to do it in the open, or are you going to go somewhere?
I want to go somewhere where I won't immediately be seen doing this.
Go in the
Maybe the
bathroom, dude.
bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go into one of the bathroom stalls and trigger this.
All right. The
Um
bathrooms are up front, so that they're easily accessed.
mhm. All right. So that's two,
Penny, is this the kind of big box store like that has like a fast food place up front inside of it?
Yeah. This is one of those places, since there used to be a food court that's been repurposed and has been rented out to a uh, burger joint.
Ah,
all right.
yes, McDonald's.
Give me a minute, I can come up with one. I didn't think about you guys wanting to go get a burger. Filth Burger.
Filth Burger.
Home
Okay.
of the Filth Burger.
All right. Um, four successes on the Boneyard. And let's see here. I don't believe I need to spend any additional plasm to other than for size, correct?
Yeah, what kind of size are you looking for here?
The entire building.
Well, at the first dot, 3 plasm will get you a large house or building.
Okay.
And I think you only got 2 dots, right?
Three, because last time we discussed this came up, and we talked about dropping the my one of my 3 dot merits for this third dot. There's stuff that happened, yeah.
Okay, then I think the 2 points of plasm would do it because under using the free enhancement on size from
Mhm.
No Escape, uh, the second dot is a large warehouse or supermarket.
Rosie would like to know if the channel point reward for reroll is only good for failed rolls or also for successful rolls.
Do it whenever you feel like it. I think it's funny if you make them reroll a success.
Well, she could make you reroll a success.
Yes, that's also funny.
Okay. So I
Rawr.
I spend 2 plasm to make it the size of the entire supermarket. And in the boneyard, I believe it says that I can do cosmetic illusions and stuff like that, correct? Nothing that actually physically like does harm or whatnot, right?
I believe so. Give me a moment just to make sure.
The Sin Eater may create minor cosmetic poltergeist effects within the boneyard, such as slamming doors, strange sounds, as reflexive actions. These actions cannot be used to attack, but if someone sticks their hands into the garbage disposer or industrial press, it that can inflict damage.
Yep, that's under the haunt conditions and tilts for the boneyard.
Okay.
Shame we can't get him to work at the deli counter.
So all the lights in the supermarket start flickering rapidly, and in between the lights being on, the walls are covered in blood, saying Todd Kimball killed Harrison Houlihan. Every single surface.
All right, so you're going for blood immediately, huh? We're not going to talk about any sort of subtlety.
Nathan is in Filthburger attempting to order dirty fries when this happens. I didn't order any tea with this, thank you.
I, on the other hand, am roving nearby with a cart, grabbing snacks and being, oh, oh, so we are doing zero subtlety. Okay, I should probably wrap this up and get ready to bail him out of here in case he throws a punch.
Alrighty. Give me a moment here.
No cats.
Are the cats being friendly for you as well?
No, I have no cats. I would say that differently, but I think we would get banned.
Yeah, they're all about their public image. Let's make people start asking questions.
Nathan probably would. It's been 84 years.
All right.
All right, can we update the dice rolling window, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. It should be.
It is now.
Alrighty. After about 30 seconds, uh, the intercom uh, comes on, and a calm male voice says, uh, "Hello, Kimball's patrons. Apparently, we are having technical difficulties, and as such, we will be closing early for repairs. All customers, please bring your items to the front in order to be checked out." In the background of the announcement, you can hear another deeper pitched male voice screaming at the top of its lungs, "George, shut this place down."
So, person who has a full awareness of this location. There are two males in the back area over by the microphone. The one who isn't by the microphone is your man.
Okay.
I think that's enough information to find the individual in question.
Mhm. All right. And at this point, the all the lights stay off except for the uh the light that's above the door to the back room. And and on on the door once again in blood, avenge me.
Wow.
No.
Um, well, we went hard today. So, Tibbs, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your time, but you have the capacity to see places you aren't.
Hmm.
If I might recommend being in the room where Todd Kimball is having a meltdown right now,
Hmm.
you might gain some value out of how he's responding to this.
Yeah. So I'll spend another plasm to shift my perspective to to that room. Oh,
Alrighty.
I have eidetic memory. Once I'm in there, all the I'm assuming this is like the security room, right?
I will describe it momentarily.
Okay.
Catch up, and then we will add
Mhm.
more to the scene. I'm just heading to the front, ringing up my stuff, trying to make as minimally a scene as possible while also being within eye range of our friend at the Filth Burger and wherever Ethan has holed himself up while he's conducting this symphony.
Well, I'm at Filthburger.
Yeah.
All right, and I would also like Ethan to make a luck roll, please. Chance die roll, please.
Okay. It's a 1. Um, can I roll a an expression check, presence plus expression in to influence the people in the shopping the supermarket?
That makes sense to me. Considering what you're doing it with, I am going to hit you with a -3 penalty, though.
Okay. So that's -3.
Ethan, you have been asked to reroll.
Oh,
Was that
Which
before or after I?
was
Okay.
Rosie, would you please identify whether you meant the one a minute ago
the
or
failed roll or the successful roll?
The chance die or the expression roll.
The
The
chance.
chance
Okay.
die.
Okay.
Okay, you've got a second chance.
This campaign is full of those.
It's a
better
And
5.
than
you
a
still
one?
biffed it.
Better than a 1, yeah.
Thank you, Rosie.
Oh,
I got 2 successes on the expression.
All right, bear with me a moment. And 1, we will deal with the expression roll. 2, we will go to the office.
Okay.
I'm having to read something real quick.
Ethan's a showman.
I do love that Ethan's solution to every single problem he's been placed in front of has been to break out a sledgehammer and swing as hard as he possibly can, because it feels so very weird to have the tiny tech dude swing this hard when we've got the otherwise soft-spoken and calm dude who's just literally a brick of meat given legs.
All right, over the next few minutes, 3 things happen. First, Ethan's message is plastered all over the store, followed by the lights going out. 2. Oh, thank you, Void. Thank you very much for the bits.
Thank you.
2. Ethan shifts his awareness to the office. A scene is about to play out. 3. The other two Sin Eaters, Ty having gotten through the checkout line and meeting Nathan at the Filth Burger, are also watching a scene play out. First, in the office, Ethan changes his awareness to the backroom office of Kimball's. The office is fairly well appointed considering that this is a big box store. There are two desks. One big and expensive, made of mahogany, with a chair that costs no less than $1,000. A second one being a ramshackle desk that looks like it was pulled out of the trash, made of metal with a chair in front of it that is missing large chunks of foam and a visible spring in the seat.
Brand new store.
Two men are standing in front of the shittier desk. Thank you, Rose. Hydrate, everybody.
Hydrate.
Rose gunning for that intermission in the middle of the second act.
No, she has 666 channel points and is freaking out about it.
One, a middle-aged gentleman, about 6 feet tall, lanky, with sallow, sagging skin, thinning, gray blonde hair, and bags under his eyes that make him look very much like a raccoon. He has his head cocked down at the floor and his eyes tightly shut, while the other man in front of him screams at the top of his lungs. The second man is a good foot shorter than him. He's very familiar, despite the fact that he's gone to seed. His muscles that you saw in a prior vision of the Memoria, only a suggestion of them really remains around the chest and the arm area. Todd Kimball has gained a lot of weight. He's probably one of the 10 fattest men in Whispering Peaks at this point. And his hair isn't thinning. He is completely bald, with a smattering of hair around the side of his head. George, he screams at the tops of his lungs, if you want to keep your job one more day, you are going to get everyone out of this building within the first 5 minutes.
And with that, every screen in the entire
I
supermarket,
can't quite hear you.
as soon as he says that, every screen in the entire supermarket starts replaying Harrison's murder.
You're going to offer these people gift cards or refunds or whatever it takes to get them to shut their fucking mouths. Now, you get round the monkeys up and you get these people out. Yes, Mr. Kimball, says George. He shakes slightly before leaving the room. Todd goes back to his desk and slams his fist on the desk. I know you can hear me, you little shit. Someone's been fucking with me for weeks. My emails, my calls, and now this. There's a camera in here. I know there's got to be. Do you know who my father is? I'm going to have your ass in prison by the end of the week.
On
Toss.
on the wall that he's facing, his last words to to uh uh to Meathead before he killed him sprawl out in blood in
Harrison
real time.
Houlihan, by the way.
Yeah, Harrison Houlihan. And no flashing lights, just he can see it manifesting.
All right. So we're going to shift scenes here. The Filthburger employees are starting to make motions to close down as well, but have not yet tossed Nathan and Ty out. A small army of employees led by a very tired-looking man begins ushering everyone out, paying for their items as quickly as they can, and in several incidences, just pushing people out the door with half-full carts, telling them it's compliments of manager.
I'm I turn to Nathan, nod, and
I can't hear you.
I turn to Nathan, nod, and head towards the bathroom where Ethan is, where I am going to make sure he is not extracted, well, apparently insensate by the janitors, and instead gonna weekend at Bernie's his ass out of here.
Nathan, by the way, has his dirty fries in one hand and his phone in the other, live streaming it.
The two sin eaters who are about their business in the Filthburger, one leaving and one taping. Begin to notice something. Roll perception, please.
Ooh, I love those words. Wits plus composure.
Wits plus composure. Let's get some closure.
3 successes.
Two successes.
Okay. Over the last few weeks, the three of you have gotten used to seeing ghosts trudging around Whispering Peaks. They're everywhere. It's hard to get away from them. So when the two of you saw ghosts milling about in the new Kimbles, it wasn't really worth noticing. Ghosts look for novelty, something to entertain them throughout the countless years of undead existence. One of the effects of the boneyard is that a location that is under the boneyard's influence is also under the open condition.
Way to make a mess.
The mess was the point.
One
No
of the
longer a filth burger. It's a haunted burger.
No, probably just somebody who just lost their lost control of their body to a nearby ghost.
One of the ghosts that was milling about the filth burger, not the filth burger, the store of the Kimball store. A man in a old tattered suit Looks like something from early 1900s, late 1800s. Uh, Fluffy chest piece, cufflinks, etc. Oh, thank you very much for the sub, Void. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Void. Appreciate you making a gift sub.
Uh, this ghost stops he browsing the various wares, uh, and the two of you hear him start to giggle to himself. You see as he floats up into the air and takes advantage of the open condition to manifest. Blue plasm seeps from the ceiling and drops into midair, forming a body to inhabit. The ghost, his tattered coattails flying about him, looks positively delighted as he shouts, "I live again!" and begins buzzing around the heads of the customers. He grabs one and screams directly into her face, a middle-aged soccer mom, picks up a small child and leaves them on top of a 10-foot-high shelf, and laughing and spinning in the air, starts turning over other shelves. This is the most alive I've felt in 80 years!
I have to ask a question, and it's very important. Nathan,
Yes,
are you live streaming this?
I am. And I'm not live streaming it to someplace obscure. I'm live streaming it to Facebook and Twitter.
So, Ty, did you want to continue going to the bathroom?
I think I don't have any capacity to stop this in a way that isn't going to make a bigger scene, if that makes any sense. There is only one person who could do that, and I'm not to them. And Lex is live streaming this instead of turning into a ghost and kicking this man's ass. So
I mean, I could. But what do I give a shit about Farmer Kimball's?
So I'm going to go weekend at Bernie's, my dear friend here, before he gets found by the janitors, who are probably trying to clear this place out as well.
Okay, just so you know, if I leave the premises, this whole effect ends.
Oh, I understand. I will not remove you until you're ready to go. But I do need to make sure that somebody doesn't find your unconscious body in the bathroom of a Walmart so you don't get sent somewhere for being on an overdose.
That's fair.
Just saying.
All right, Ty, roll a chance die, please.
Fuck.
Hold on. Hold on.
We can't.
Why won't it let me?
That's not fair, Lex.
Why?
We should not be
okay.
able to spend channel points to affect our own rolls. That's not
Why?
fair. That's not fair.
It's not my role, it's his role.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rule that only our viewers get to fuck with us.
Am I at least still allowed to cash in, like, create a ghost or
Yeah.
unleash the Geist?
It's
I'll
specifically
allow that.
I I am gonna eat this 4. Let's find out what's happening.
All right.
All right. As Ty arrives in the bathroom, he finds the assistant manager and two other employees standing in front of an open bathroom stall in which Nathan is sprawled out. The assistant manager scratches the side of his head and is talking to the two employees. He's like, look, Todd's going to go ballistic if you call the cops. But I think I've seen this kid around. He looks like one of like he's related to like one of the board for Farmer Kimball's. So how about you guys let me handle this? Just please assist with getting the other customers out.
I walk over and said, "Hey man, sorry. He's been up doing all-nighters for school the last couple weeks. I think he just literally passed out at the wheel. I got him."
Roll me manipulation plus subterfuge.
Can I assist?
You're not here.
I wasn't very far from the bathroom. I was at Filthburger, which is also up front.
Can I assist?
You're not here.
But
You don't
I am aware of where everybody is. I may not be aware of who they are, but if I know that someone is coming into the bathroom, I'm probably gonna do something about that.
All right, what idea do you have to assist with this?
For me?
Well, I think for him, just simply getting up would probably resolve the scenario. However,
Ethan, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I I would like to see if I can't social my way through this before we insta solve it, if that's okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because I feel like regardless of how my social role goes, if you just stand up, you're fine. I prefer to keep your eyes where they are right now, because it's super fucking funny. Alright, so that's manipulation plus subterfuge. So that's 2 dice. I definitely want more than that, so everybody, Mr. Will Powers, attorney at law, come on. Give me a single 4 successes out of 5, baby!
Well done.
Nice.
The assistant manager turns around to look at Ty. He's almost as tall as Ty is, only about a foot shorter, which is saying something. And he is quite possibly the most tired-looking man Ty has ever seen. The name tag on his dress shirt to the right of his red tie reads George McElroy, assistant manager. Relief floods his eyes as he says, "Oh, someone else who can handle this. Okay, sure, handle your friend. I just didn't want him to die of an overdose on my watch."
He's just tired, man. It's been a couple of days. You know how finals are.
He nods in general approval and leaves the room.
Before he goes, I tap him on the shoulder. It's like, "Hey, I've been meaning to talk to you real quick, but not the time for it. What is Myrtle's last name? Somebody fucking save me."
Lynn?
Myrtle Flynn had something they wanted to talk to you about Josie.
George McElroy deflates immediately as if you've the look on his face, it's as if someone removed his lower jaw. "Not her again," he whines. "I have work, kid. If she wants to bother me yet again, she knows what my phone number is." and then he leaves the room without waiting for you to say anything else.
Well, that confirms everything I needed to know. I pick up our dear friend and Ethan here, and I am going to prop him up under my arm as if he is walking kind of hunched over so people can't see his defocused eyes, and we're going to make our way out of here.
All right, as Ty and Ethan leave the bathroom, the scene towards the front of the store has changed. Uh, the the ghost who has been harassing the customers as they leave. Um, well, most of the customers have left. That ghost is now currently dancing on the ceiling, laughing at the top of his voice. The kid that was left on the top of the shelf is alone and crying, and having been left as essentially the lone witness as the employees usher out the last few customers.
So Nathan is still live streaming and walking backwards. I don't know how it happened, but he definitely slipped in that pile of blue goo that's on the ground. And ow, that hurts, and he's gonna yell about it.
All right, what do you plan to do here?
I'm gonna get the attention of anyone who matters. Because this is about to be a lawsuit. On top of the fact that he murdered Harrison Houlihan. That I just, live streamed ghosts and children levitating up to 10 feet in the air and murder accusations written on every surface.
So I am going to turn to Ethan. I believe Ethan can probably still hear me. I feel like that's a reasonable assumption. Or is his entire attention somewhere else?
Currently, his entire attention is somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't have a solution. I can't get that kid down without making a fucking scene.
Okay, so
you know what?
so right.
You're over at the Filth Burger still, right? Nathan?
Yeah, right up front of it.
Yep. I'm going to be passing custody of this one over to you while you're having your little mess. And
All right.
I'm going to go make an athletics check to go pry the kid off the shelf. It's very clear these employees have a lot more on their minds.
All right, and what are you going to do with Ethan in the meantime?
I think he's going to go be sitting over by Nathan while they have their little scene. There's probably chairs in the Filth Burger. I feel like that's reasonably likely to be true.
Okay.
Is that okay with everyone? Or shall I just chill out until this is all wrapped up?
Works for me.
I just made a scene to get the managers to me so that you could take Mr. Unfocused Eyeballs out without anyone noticing.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you want to.
I misunderstood your purpose. In that case, Tibbs, have you done everything you want to do here?
I think all right. So what I'm gonna do is before is there a point in which no one is looking at me and Ty?
You wouldn't know.
I can arrange one pretty easily, I think.
Okay. So
Your
I
point of view is currently elsewhere.
so I shift my perception. Wait, no, there's nothing saying I can't talk. And wait, no, I don't know who's carrying me.
Yeah, what
Okay.
are you trying to do?
I was going to don the call and confront him directly at this point.
You're in the front of the store and he's up in the office.
Snap.
What do you guys think?
If you want to have the confrontation with him directly as yourself, what you need to do is the following. One, snap back to reality and come back to here. You need
Yep.
to have me take you somewhere where you're not in vision lines,
Yep.
which is going to be more of a your role than mine because I have a 0 dots in stealth.
Right.
Two, you're going to want to turn the call on and use that to get around the store without being spotted because it lets you be goo. And then you're going to want to get back to where you were watching. I, at that point, am going to exit the building after rescuing the kid. And Nathan's going to do their best to hold every other authority figure attention so nobody else can intrude on what you're doing.
Is this a good idea?
I mean, nothing we've done today so far is a good idea, but why has that ever stopped us before?
Okay.
Interesting.
I do hope you have brought some sort of USB thing to plug into something while you are here, because that is definitely a thing you need to do if you're going to be breaking into the back.
Hmm. Yeah.
All
right.
It is a very obvious thing that you would have brought.
Yeah.
So, here's the plan. You are going to snap back to focus. We are going to break off, you and me. I am going to visibly go get the kid down, while you find somewhere stealthy to turn into a pile of goo. And then you're going to go handle that. Nathan, your job is to make sure that nobody else intrudes on the meeting. So make sure everybody who's up here stays up here.
How am I supposed to do that?
The scene you are already causing.
Okay.
Prolong it as best you can. Don't let them take you out as long as possible. As a talker, you got this.
Yep.
All right, everybody got on it? This seemed like a workable plan for everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Break. All right.
First, I'm going to resolve the thing that had been happening previously.
Hmm.
Nathan, roll presence plus expression or whatever else you think makes sense for trying to pretend to be hurt.
Presence plus persuasion.
What are you trying to persuade anyone of?
That I am grievously injured and need EMTs. And I cannot be moved.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
Maybe not grievously injured, but it sure feels like it. Three successes.
And yeah, we don't do good ideas here. We just do. We do player stuff.
So, while the last few customers are being pushed out the door, Nathan puts on a performance in a puddle of ectoplasm, pretending to be hurt. An extremely put upon middle manager appears. The name tag shows him as George McElroy, and he kneels down in the ectoplasm and says, "Okay, kid, stay with me. Are you hurt?"
Yeah, I hurt my back, my lower back, real bad. I don't know if I can feel my toes.
Okay, I'll call an ambulance or something. He pulls out a cell phone and begins dialing.
Help, it hurts.
He
Poor
gets on the line
George.
with 911 and asks for an ambulance immediately. Meanwhile, several of the employees, now that there's only a few people left in the store, seem to have taken to trying to rescue the young child on top of the shelf. Whenever whenever anyone gets near the shelf, the ghost, who is currently standing on the ceiling, jumps into the air, grabs something off a nearby shelf, and throws it at them.
All right. Tibbs, do I have you back?
Yes, at this point, I'll return my consciousness to my body.
I am no longer
Are you dropping
responsible
the
for you,
boneyard?
and I am going to
No,
save this child. Is that all right?
perfect.
All right. It sounds like what this needs is somebody who is not going to be able to be stopped by a couple of thrown objects from climbing up a shelf and rescuing this kid. Additionally, I think that this ghost might reconsider what they're doing when they recognize exactly what I am. So I'm going to make a strength or actually stamina plus athletics, because I'm just resisting both, gravity and having stuff thrown at me to go retrieve the child. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right. I don't think I can sell this on hockey unless they're particularly puck-shaped things being sent at me. But you know what?
I don't know. Armament might work. Maybe observation.
Thank you.
Are you
You
going
beat
to
me
give me
to
the
it.
+2 or not?
Sure.
All righty. Exceptional success.
Excellent.
Very nice.
The as Ty ascends the shelf, the ghost takes off into the air, grabs an armful of Thanksgiving ornaments, and starts tossing them at Ty. There doesn't appear to be any actual malice behind it. He's grinning as while he does it. Hey, he says, having apparently noticed your liminal aura. Are you the one who gave me this great opening? Thanks. He then throws a pilgrim hat at you.
Kenny, may I ask something? I'd have no resources to give you, but I would desperately like that pilgrim hat to land on my head.
Sure, why not?
Having no capacity to spare an arm to remove it, I climb down, pilgrim hatted.
Climb up, down.
I climbed up to grab the kid with that roll. I presumably am climbing down now with the child.
Okay, so you're going to grab the child and climb on down. Hey, says the ghost, continuing to throw ornaments. Are you listening to me? I wanted to thank you. This is the most fun I've had in years.
Man, ain't me, but you know, you can leave the living out of it. They didn't do nothing to you.
The ghost scoffs. Every day, the living just walk right through me, and the most acknowledgement I get is, ooh, is that chilly in here? They can take a little joke, he says. The ghost pulls a industrial-sized bag of jelly beans off the shelves and showers you and the child in them.
I
I'm
love
going to
this
be
guy.
picking those out of my pockets for weeks. But I get the kid down safely. And pass it off to one of the employees, trying not to be identified, though it's kind of hard, being as obvious as I am.
What's
Can you fix
important?
the roll window?
Sorry, what?
Fix the roll window.
Again? What's wrong with it today?
As you put feet on the floor, the ghost settles near your shoulders, floating in the air, grabs a jelly bean off the rim of your hat and puts it in your mouth. Then he says, lighten up. What's important is that they're paying attention to me. He spirals off in the air, grabbing several more bags of jelly beans, flying directly towards George McElroy.
All right. George has had the longest possible day. And also, I don't want my dear friend to get hit with those. So I said, once I'm no longer immediately visible, by that guy, I'm like, listen, show's gonna be over in a minute, but you can come with me, and you can have a little bit more freedom, or you can watch this show end in about 2 minutes and go back to where you were at.
So you're going to try to talk the ghost out of it?
Yeah.
Into coming with us. If Ty doesn't have the aura, I certainly do with Synergy 5.
All of us were born with it.
Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's
But
fine.
you do have, I think you all at least have liminal aura high enough to have the anchor condition, right?
Yep.
You don't. You have synergy of at least 2, right?
That's
Yep.
the one.
Yep.
All right. If you're going to try to talk the ghost into it, this is going to be presence or manipulation plus persuasion at a -3.
Oh, yikes. I'm not going to be able to make that. Never mind.
What was it?
It's a negative roll, and you won't be able to do it because, well, he's heading towards you, and by the time he's around you, it'll already be happening. But I have literally negative dice on everything he named. I'm sorry, I'm not persuasive.
Okay. Before we shift this, the scene over to Tibbs, I'm going to finish this up. The ghost arrives above George McElroy and Nathan, still laying in the pool of ectoplasm. He perks up and says, "Oh, are you the one who did this, Sin Eater? Thanks." He rips open several huge bags of jelly beans and begins dropping them all around you and George by the handful. "Pay attention to me," he says, smacking George in the face with handfuls of jelly beans.
Nathan is a much better person than I am and does not laugh outright.
George McElroy looks at the ghost throwing things at him and immediately passes out.
It's not me, but you're gonna get me in trouble.
The ghost pours the remainder of the jelly beans into his mouth, with a large amount of them falling to the sides and eventually onto the floor. "Oh, okay," he says. "Well, it was nice meeting you anyway. I'm going to find another mortal to pay attention to me." If you want to convince him to come with you, this is your chance.
I have stopped live streaming, by the way. I stopped live streaming once I started yelling that I was hurt, just before George came over. Okay. So I would like to convince this ghost to come with us where we can pay attention to him as if he were a cat. So on a semi-regular basis. Probably not going to pitch it like as if he's a cat, but you know. Would that be presence plus persuasion?
Yeah, presence plus persuasion or manipulation plus persuasion. -3, same deal.
Would this be considered de-escalation?
I mean, yes. Categorically, yes.
Yeah.
Willpower. What? No, there is.
You know, we have
Wow.
willpower for a reason.
Well, Nathan already spent willpower, didn't you? You can't spend 2 willpower on the same roll. Unless anyone in the audience wants to save your ass.
Please save me.
I'm gonna be real with you. If no one's willing to save you, you have to go the other way.
Oh,
Yeah.
lean into. Oh, okay. All right, y'all have 10 seconds to pop up a channel point reroll for me. Otherwise, I'm taking a dramatic failure.
It's already a dramatic failure.
No.
No, dramatic failure is only if you roll a chance die and get
And
a 1.
fail.
Okay, fair enough. You're right.
No one has come to my rescue. Therefore, I would like to take a dramatic failure for an additional beat.
Okay. The ghost sticks out his tongue and blows a raspberry at you before flying off towards the back of the store. All right, let's change positions. Scenes in this one. Nathan, I mean Ethan, you went off to go don the call.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, narrate us and
Okay.
make your roll.
So I'm going to uh I'm going to find a place that is out of line of sight from any people and the cameras.
Did you know the
And
exact positions of?
hmm And then I'm going to don the cowl and make myself look as much like Meathead as possible.
Well, you don't need to roll or anything since you still have the boneyard up, and that means, as Ty said, you know where all this is.
hmm
All right. How many dots of call do you have?
Just the one.
All right. Extrude the call. How many plasm do you want to spend?
Okay.
You can have
S-
one between 1 and 5.
So hold on a second. Let me do some math. Okay.
Please don't.
So,
Not on stream.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 10. Okay. Ta-da. So I'm gonna do the full 5, I think. That'll be funny. Yeah.
All
we can
right.
do the-
Roll synergy plus call.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going yeah, so if I remember correctly, I can spend plasm to uh get the remembrance trait, right?
Yeah, that is a thing you can also do.
Right, so that I can add Meathead's power to one of my power stats, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's 1 for 1. So I'm going to do 3 for that. And then use the grave dirt key so that I have a strength of 4 that's adding to all that. Okay. So synergy. Okay. So that's gonna put me at 8 dice for this.
All right. So, what remembrance trait are you using?
Uh, the uh,
I think what you
and
are referring to is the call ability to grab the power stats, right?
I okay. I'm okay. Never mind. I have to roll first.
Yes, please roll synergy plus call.
I thought one of the things that I could do as a Geist was to spend plasm to get bonuses based off of
The
uh
remembrance traits are a couple of skills, stats, or merits that might be sitting on your sheet right now.
yeah.
And you can grab those directly with Plasm.
Okay.
I think one of them's athletics for you.
Uh, I right now I just have Brawl, but I believe this needs to be updated. But
Yeah, I mean it needs an update, but yeah, brawl is the remembrance trait you have right now.
okay. I'm gonna spend a willpower to reroll that. One success.
One success is a success. So
Hmm.
you have donned the call. You spent 5 plasms, so that means you have 5 charges. And yes, one of the things that you can use a charge of the call to do is to substitute one of your Geist's attributes for yours in the same category for an action.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're going for some presence off of power.
Yeah.
All right. Can you please describe what happens as you don the call?
So the 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 ectoplasm around me, uh, or I yeah, the ectoplasm just yeah, it oozes out of me, and I uh I my body grows and shifts, and within a few seconds I look like Meathead does. My 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 actual head has kind of um has gone transparent to the point where it's like just a
Suggestion of a face.
yeah. And Meathead's head is gravitating around it just like he normally would, like how I normally see him. And then after that, I make I make my way into the back room.
Alrighty. So at 1 dot of the call, the things that you can do with your charges gain an
Hmm.
exceptional success on 3 successes instead of 5 when your viscous body would aid you. Grappling, squeezing through tight spaces, intimidating the living. 2, ignore wound penalties for 1 turn. Or 3, substitute one of your Geist's attributes for yours in the same category for an action.
Okay. The
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, all right.
Well, time to go have a conversation.
Yep. So yeah, looking like Meathead, I step into the to the office.
The office is in the back room, and as you head into the stock room in the back, uh, you are passed at speed by something flying by, screaming, "Pay attention to me!"
I keep walking.
Maybe this guy being treated like a cat is very appropriate.
You walk into the office, have a where Todd Kimball, now much more short and rotund than Meathead remembers, is ineffectually hopping into the air trying to grab the manifested ghost who is dangling a third place trophy from the Crunch Quest weightlifting competition over his head. Come on, big boy, says the ghost. Jump for it. Todd is screaming, "Give that back!" It's You can almost see angry tears welling up in his eyes. It's my most prized possession. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have ignored me all those times, fat boy, says the ghost, laughing.
Even with
Uh,
that, even with taking out your competition, you still couldn't get first, huh?
Todd Kimball, before he even begins to whip around, begins defending himself. Now, I'll have you know that the competition at Crunch Quest is a cutthroat, and even a third place is extremely good. He turns around and sees the vision of horror that is the combined form of Meathead and Ethan. Let's see what would make sense here.
Do you have a single dot in Intimidate by chance?
Can you update the window?
How does that keep happening? It is still up. This is getting frustrating.
I don't know why. Normally it updates on its own.
Yeah.
Not fuck it. Losing access to my character sheet while it's up. It's fine. Got too many freaking windows open.
Yeah.
A momentary flicker of recognition pops into those deep set eyes of Todd's, and he raises an eyebrow and says, "Harrison?"
So you do remember, huh? So you have two options. Turn yourself in, admit everything, or I'm going to ruin your life. And then, at the moment where you've lost everything, I'm going to take your life. And then, I'm going to ruin your afterlife.
Presence plus intimidation.
Okay. Alright. So, I'm going to spend one of my charges to get the presence, or the power stat of Meathead. To add to that, or to swap that out.
All right.
Cat.
Hooray! It's a cat.
2 successes.
Todd takes a step back, fear in his eyes. The ghost cartwheeling around the room chuckles at the scene and takes the chance to put the trash can on the floor on top of Todd's head. Todd brushes it off,
I
as the ghost
to
laughs and laughs and laughs.
to and to kind of strike to drive my point home, I reach out, grab the ghost, and pull him closer to me.
The ghost makes a extremely surprised sound, uh, as he has just found out that ghosts can in fact be choked.
I'm picturing grabbing him by like his collar or something like that.
That would still choke.
Yeah. And the entire time I'm doing this, I haven't broken eye contact with Todd.
The ghost's big happy smile becomes somewhat strained and plastic as he looks between Ethan and Todd and goes completely silent, having realized that perhaps now is not the time for people to pay attention to him.
I let him go. Do you mind giving us a moment?
The ghost nods, saying, "Oh, yeah, fine. There's others mortals here. I've got the picture." And leaves through one of the nearby walls. You can see a spark light up in Todd's eyes, and he puts on a fake smile. "Harrison," he says, "you remember me. We're friends. You wouldn't want to hurt me."
What was that exact line that he had? You just don't have the. Gosh, I need to go back and watch that episode and write that entire line down. We need that for future. Sorry.
To be
So
perfectly honest, that is what his version of friendship is.
see, here's the thing. I would love nothing more for you to decline to turn yourself in right now.
Oh, by the way, and the line was "eat the bar."
Okay. So right now, I want nothing more for you to decline to turn yourself in. That offer was a mercy. Otherwise, I'm gonna make sure that every day of this life and next, you know what it's like to eat the bar.
Todd Kemble takes several hurried steps backwards, getting behind his desk, putting it between you and him. "Look, Harrison, it wasn't personal," he said.
I would be less mad if I would be less mad about this if it wasn't, if it was personal. At least then I would have done something.
"Look,
But
I
no,
wasn't expecting you to
you
come back and
killed me
complain."
for a you killed me for a goddamn competition. You're too weak.
Didn't expect you to come
Whatever
back and
happened?
complain.
Oh no. The consequences of your actions are coming back to you for once in your fucking life. Daddy can't help you here. And
Daddy
after,
doesn't even like him.
on top of that, I know what he says about you. When are you gonna get respect? Isn't he isn't he backing a new member of the church over you?
Todd scoffs out loud and says, "Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't go to the Episcopalian church. I'm an atheist. But maybe I should stop that.
Rumor
Since there's,
rumor ha rumor has it that the children have a new follower that were let into the fold, and you're still not in. Not even
stop.
your father, not even your father likes you. And his embarrassment and yours and your shame. Show some fucking strength for once.
Well, my storyteller characters are not rolling very well today.
Good.
Todd's face starts turning red. You didn't deserve to win Crunch Quest. I deserve to win it. My dad, he loves me. Your dad, what was he going to give you? Oh, half of a ratty old gem? Look what my dad's given me.
Do you know what the last thing my father gave me was? A hug.
Holy shit, you want some aloe?
Dad
I
spoke to me before, he said. Uh, my birthday, just this year.
Every morning.
You need to get out of there. This is getting too brutal, man. You've said what you needed to say.
Let's see.
So
Holy shit, there's a murder going on in that
at
room.
at this point, you have your choice. I'll see you in 2 days. And I turn and leave.
Penny, I think that would be a stamina plus uh medicine roll to resist burn.
Ethan leaves the room. Uh, Todd, halfway through attempting to climb out the window, turns back around and says, what? You're leaving? You're leaving? Okay. Ghosts are real. I can accept that. I've seen two today. But I know who to call. Yeah, you come back, Harrison. I'll kill you again if I have to.
So what? So I'm gonna spend another charge to uh shift the power stats his stat over to strength, and after I open the door, I'm just gonna crush the doorknob in my hand as I'm walking.
Can I beg a favor?
Hmm,
On your way out, can you just hit the intercom button while he's screaming, I'll kill you again if I have to?
sure.
I mean, it's not like there's anyone left but you guys.
Yeah.
The employees are there.
Ethan leaves the room. Uh, and Todd falls backwards out of the window, jumping to his feet and waddling to his car in the parking lot at high speed.
Hey, while you're back there in a completely abandoned space, why don't you go plug that USB into something?
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull out once I'm actually by myself. I'm gonna pull out my ghost laptop and get on their network and copy the contents of their network drive.
Okay, that doesn't take particularly long. Are you going to rejoin the others and I assume take off the cowl first?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to count this as a remembrance scene for Meathead.
Okay.
So, hi guys.
Damn.
So
That was a long time coming.
Ethan rejoins the others.
We're out
The
in the parking
ghost.
lot at this point.
Okay, so are you going to head out to the parking lot then, and in the boneyard?
Yeah, yeah. I think we've done what we can here.
Great. Ethan heads to join the others. The ghost, who had been causing a bit of ruckus, is hovering toward at the edge of the boneyard, with an armful of random Thanksgiving leftover items that were on sale, throwing them at employees that are in the parking lot. As the boneyard ends, the ectoplasm making up his body drops to the ground in a puddle of blue goo, and the ghost, along with all the Thanksgiving items he was holding in his arms, and the ghost simply looks down at the ground somewhat morosely and sighs. They were finally paying attention to me.
So Nathan is having been cleared by the EMTs, has convinced them that he's fine. He was just scared. And hears this as he walks by and goes, "Could have come with me. Still time to be treated like a cat."
A semi-conscious George McElroy is loaded into an ambulance. The ghost chews his lower lip and says, "Okay, I guess I can hang out with you guys for at least a little bit." The three of you roll perception.
That's not a good thing.
It's resolving composure, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see shit.
Wits plus composure.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, wits plus composure.
I got 1 success.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Amidst the small sea of flashing red lights and sirens, Nathan notes the cowboy hat worn by Sheriff Spade floating through the crowd. Not literally. You can't see the sheriff, but you're sure that he's the one wearing it.
Yeah.
Considering that our ghost friend is no longer manifested. It looks like the sheriff is taking statements along with several members of the city PD.
I think that we don't need to be here anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
We make our way towards the exits, away towards wherever the cops are.
My car is on the left-hand side of the parking lot.
Alrighty. So one last thing before we exit this scene and go to the other one. Please make me some sort of roll for not being noticed by the police.
Can someone else make it? There is no way I will pass any roll in that entire category.
Composure plus persuasion de-escalation.
Do you want to talk to them, or I thought I would, like I was
Does anyone
suggesting
have
that
a
you
stealth
leave without being
or
noticed.
if nothing else, I can just move us physically fast enough to get out of there.
What about presence plus stealth?
That is
Yeah.
the opposite of what presence is for.
I just
Two.
figured I could use composure to be like, "Oh no, we've already been talked to," and just keep us moving along.
All right. So since it sounds like no one's got anything good, then I'll just say how roll dexterity plus stealth.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the head on this one, I guess.
I'll assist. I could
Because
also do getaway driving.
I
what
think I'm
is
gonna follow your dex plus stealth. This is your show, and we have to get to the car.
yeah.
All right, assisting. No assistance from me.
Okay.
I literally have 0 dice, so like
Okay.
I'm not rolling a chance die at you.
All right.
3 successes.
Good. Hiv's got us.
All right. In the interest of brevity, I'll say that since one of you managed it, the rest of you are able to get away and to the car without drawing any further attention. All right. This scene's over. Did you guys have anywhere else that you wanted to go today?
Well, I need to see a woman about some nuts.
All right. Did you still want to go to the house or the store?
The house, just because I feel like talking about their family history at a public location is going to go over way less well than going after the store is closed. Because I don't imagine they're open till like 9 at night or whatever the fuck.
We still need to make brownies. We
Yeah.
did promise brownies.
We stop, grab some brownies. I grabbed snacks already at the store, I believe, rather
Mhm.
explicitly.
We got them
Yep.
for free too. Got bones in them.
All right. So, the household. Uh, oh, thank you very much, Void.
Yeah.
There is a channel in the Discord for redeeming a ghost. Let me add an invite just in case.
Sorry to be a little dramatic in there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Please join our Discord. It is open to everyone.
It's got notes and gives you advance notice of what we're doing and lets you see all of our day actions before they happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the previous 2 ghosts redeemed because, I had to go away for a month. But I'll definitely attempt to work them into the next session.
Yeah. You guys are gonna love my ghost.
I'm sure we will.
All right. The Palmer household is a modest 1-story brick house, not too far from downtown. You've been given a phone number and an address. Do you want to call ahead or anything like that?
I'm going to call ahead and let them know I'm coming over, say I brought snacks, and apologize for the awkwardness of earlier.
We're like younger than millennials, so I don't think you should call. I think you should text.
You know what I mean. I text ahead, let them know I'm coming over, tell them I got snacks, and apologize for the awkwardness earlier.
Like, I think calling is an aggressive action.
My apologies for the incorrect word. I notify them in advance.
All right, so the car comes to a stop in the driveway. What next?
Um, I go grab the snacks out of there, load up my arms, head to there, and also I grab the book that we found in the underworld and bring it along with us.
All right. So as you knock on the as you knock on the door, uh, Barbara comes to the door to answer. She sees the three of you and deflates slightly. Oh, you brought your friends tonight too. Excellent. The more the merrier. Well, come on in.
Hey, Barbara. So,
Do you want me to fuck off?
can I have just 4 seconds to keep talking? I promise I'm going somewhere with this, guys. This is out of character. Barbara, I am not very good at talking to people, and it was definitely not a conversation I could have in the middle of the paranormal society, so let me do it this way. It's really hard to talk about ghost stuff in public when you can do this. I reach out my hand, holding the hockey stick, and phase it into reality. I spend the plasm.
She takes a step back and mixed emotions play out across her face. Yeah, of course the varsity hockey guy wasn't going to ask me out. Of course, it's ghosts. It's always ghosts. Grandma, come on in, you three. She heads to the living room.
Now, I feel like the biggest jerk in the universe, but what the fuck else was I supposed to do?
Ask her out. Take her to Olive Garden.
I'm into dudes! That's even meaner, you know?
Fair enough.
That is the one thing that Ty had figured out before all this went down.
I'm. I look. I look Barbara. I get Barbara's attention. I'm sorry. I. I didn't. I what? I'm sorry.
I did everything to
I.
try and make this look less like it did, and I made a mistake, and I fucked up, and I am sorry for upsetting you. I
Yeah, what a. Oh,
I,
go on.
I just I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to tell you about your really cool little locket because I thought you'd like to know about it if you didn't already. And I need to return this because the last time your mom saw me, she banished me. So I was kind of curious about a conversation that wasn't going to go like that.
She nods and just says, "Okay, well, come in," and then heads into the to the living room herself. There will be no further conversation at the door.
I head inside carrying the snacks and preparing myself for the most awkward night of my life.
Ty walks directly into an invisible door, a wall in the door. Uh, face first.
Ah! I knock on it and see if it makes any noise.
No, it does not.
Barbara, I believe you're going to have to ask your grandma to let me in. Because I think I'm a little too dead for this.
Barbara pokes her head out of the living room just in time to see you knock on thin air, and then yells again, Grandma, please get down here. I don't know how to undo the wards. From the kitchen, you hear footsteps as a small, round old lady with very large beehive hair comes out, apron on, and an oven mitt on her left hand.
I wave as awkwardly as I have ever waved before. This has not been my day. Hello, ma'am.
Let those dead who seek to entreat with the living in peace enter into this dwelling, and let those dead who seek not peace be forever barred. There. Now come inside.
I walk through, trying to look as peaceful as possible. The snacks extended out as if an offering.
Nathan
Hi.
follows.
Yeah, me too.
Deanne Palmer sits down on a big plush yellow couch beside her visibly disappointed granddaughter. She pats her on the shoulder as the three sin eaters walk inside. Sit anywhere, she says. Just make sure not to get any ectoplasm on anything.
I don't think I've ever done that, but I will do my best. I
know that you types eat the stuff.
I have a thing that you lost. I wanted to get that back to you. I pull the book out from my pocket and offer it to her. Again, Ty doesn't know how to handle this. This is the worst he's felt in the last 5 years, other than being literally murdered.
Deanne takes the book of recipes, nods, and puts it down on the table. Well, at least you've got good manners, she said. I'm not going to apologize for abjuring you.
On the contrary, I totally understand. The only thing I wanted to know with regard to that is, could you teach me how to do it?
Barbara looks up from Ty to her grandmother. Two things, she says. One, I don't know what's going on anymore. And two, you haven't even taught me how to abjure ghosts, Grandma.
Okay, Barbara, to catch you up on a number of things as recompense and apology. One, you remember that thing where me and these two survived that thing that happened? We didn't.
Yeah, we got better.
So, one of the reasons why it would probably be a bad idea to date me is that I am in fact a corpse. Two, I really have a lot going on right now, and I can't really focus on that sort of thing, and I'm very sorry for upsetting you.
She shrugs and says, okay, why not? Everybody's dead in this shitty town.
They
You
really
three
are
are dead. You three are dead. Is anyone else at school that I should know about dead?
Not that I am aware of, other than all the ghosts roaming the halls, but I'm pretty sure at this point you know about them.
Deanne nods gravely.
We're
I've made sure my granddaughter is well warded, Sin Eater.
We have no interest in causing any harm to anyone, but you have a lot of knowledge we don't have, and we're going up against somebody who devours ghosts and is planning on killing more people as we go along. Um, we need to stop him, and we need knowledge. And I was wondering if there's any way to pay for lessons.
Deanne shrugged. On the one hand, I'm not going to trust three members of the living dead who walk into my living room. But on the other hand, I know that you aren't involved in whatever sick rituals going on in this town because uh because the timelines don't add up.
I can tell you who is, if you're curious.
That would buy you a little trust, Sin Eater, she says.
Can somebody please tell me the name of the fucking god damn it,
It
the
was Charles Rousseau.
Charles Rousseau. I'm sorry, it's been a month. I'm trying. Charles Rousseau, of the Rousseau Funeral Home. Yeah, it's him. He's done all of the killings, and honestly, you probably would have a better chance of figuring out what's going on with this ritual than we do. I've got some notes I can share if you would be willing to look them over. But right now, we are just trying to figure out what's going on with him, and all I know is if I fought that man right now, I would lose.
Well, when I've been in the underworld recently, I've been doing research on human sacrifice rituals. It's clear that that's what these murders are a part of. Am I wrong, Sin Eater?
You are absolutely correct, and he's using them to anchor the underworld to the living world on purpose. It's adjusted ritual from. He reaches into his pocket and pulls open a notepad that has some of the worst handwriting you've ever seen on it. It's an adjusted ritual from one who eats the dead. It's some way they used to keep themselves alive and give them supernatural power. I'm sorry, we're doing our best here.
Yeah,
Well,
our crew is we've gotten quite a bit of information, but there's still even more gaps.
all right. And would anyone else like the chance to talk? Barbara watches as Deanne takes the sheaf of papers and skims through them. Very sloppy work, she says. Whatever necromancer was doing this uh, is how best to put it for you young people? They're brute forcing it.
I can't say I'm very, very fond of his methods either.
Grandma, can I see? Says Barbara. Uh, Palmer says, here, Tony, and gives her the sheet of paper. But I'm not sure you'll be able to understand all of it. It's pretty advanced stuff. But anything for my little girl. She smiles at Barbara before turning back around to the three of you, mouth becoming hard and the smile fading. So, you are involved in some large act of necromancy against your will. and you wanted information from someone who has an idea about what it can do.
And ideally, just to learn some of the necromancy that you know. Something that might give me an edge as I'm trying to deal with this. And you've got all the cards here. I'll tell you what you want to know. I'm happy to go get the things that you want. But I'm just tired of watching people die. You're muted, Lex.
Out of character, do we bring up the fact that her nuts are all over Purgatory Junction?
I'm pretty sure she knows.
We last ran into her down there, actually. That's where I got,
If you want to bring it up to her, bring it up to her.
I was leaving it up to Jeff.
I mean, you are the social person. You've got all the stats.
honestly, take the swing.
Do I ask why?
I mean, why not?
Why now? All right. So Nathan has been pretty quiet this whole time since they came in. He's eating peanut brittle. And he chimes in finally. So your nuts are all over Purgatory Junction, and we found a large order receipt. Can you tell us anything about that?
For nuts? Well, she shrugs. The dead traditionally respond to offerings of food.
Fair enough.
Where did we find that receipt? I
Don't
remember
tell her
finding
where
it.
we found that receipt because that's when we hacked her computer.
Okay.
My mother and her mother always said that the dead long to remember what it feels like to feel alive, and food is one of the traditional offerings, and that because it helps them with that. Lots of cultures around the world, including native cultures and Mexican culture, does the offering of food to the dead. This is simply a little more direct.
Fair enough. So, this is what I know. These are the things we have. I could probably get you more notes if you need them. But, you've been practicing necromancy since before I was born, much less since before I died. It sounds like your entire family line has been involved in it. We don't have time to figure things out because every day I waste here, we could watch another person get killed for no reason. I would really like any help you're willing to offer, and I'm happy to do whatever we need to do to get it. I'm sure a couple Sin Eaters have something of value that you could need.
Sin Eaters definitely have an easier time crossing the boundary between life and death, she says. For me, it's a difficult and dangerous journey to get to the underworld, even to the nearest river city. But for you, it's just a long walk. She taps her chin. Yes, I think there's something that you could do for me. She turns to Barbara and says, Barbie, did you have a crush on this boy before he asked you out? And then all of this? No, she says, it wasn't like that, Grandma. Her face starts to turn a little red under her white makeup. Are you sure, Barbie? You know you can't lie to your Grammy. Telling the truth, Grandma, she says, resentment clearly in her voice. Okay, well, you didn't hurt my Barbie too bad, so I think all I'll want from you, if you can get me a gallon of water from the ocean of fragments, I'll tell you what you want now.
Ocean of fragments.
It's at the bottom of the underworld.
Looks like we've got a journey to make then.
Bring me anything that you think might be useful, and I'll start making out this chicken scratch, she says. Whatever clumsy amateur went about editing this ritual did a poor job of it.
We'd like to be able to reverse it.
That isn't something I can promise, she says. A human sacrifice ritual is ongoing, and it looks like you've already interrupted it once by not being sacrificed. If that didn't destroy the ritual outright, and it appears not to have, then it's going to be more difficult to interrupt than it seems.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having us tonight.
You should count yourself lucky, young Sin Eater, she says. If a young Barbie did have her eyes on you, I'd have told you to dive to the bottom of the ocean.
I'm sorry. The only person who I was ever really interested in, he's dead now. So, still dealing with that.
Ma, says Barbara. Deanne takes a hard sniff through her nose and says, well, that's none of my business. As the three of you get up to leave, Barbara comes along and apologizes for her grandma profusely. Look, she says quietly, it's my bad. I misread the situation. Please forgive my grandma. She's kind of vindictive.
Listen, the fact that they're willing to help us at all is all that matters, and I'm so sorry for making everything awkward. I know how to play hockey. That's about all I got. I'm still grappling with all of this. You've been a saint. And if you're curious about more of the stuff going on, you can always come hang with our crew. I could introduce you to some of the ghosts.
Barbara brightens up when she hears that. Grandma won't teach me a whole lot, she says. She's never even let me go to the underworld. She says that when it's time for me to be the Palmer Witch, then she'll teach me everything. But until then, she puts her hand on her locket and gives it a soft tug. She just tells me to wear this and avert my eyes as much as I can.
Well, I'm happy to have you sit in on our meetings and you can enjoy our rituals. We'll show you off what we know. We don't know very much. We're just figuring it out as we go.
That sounds great, she says. Screw my grandma. She's mean to you, and she won't teach me shit. Okay.
Talk to Chloe when you see them next time, and they'll tell you when our next meeting is. Just let them know you're in the crew.
Oh, Is that how it works? Okay, thank you. And sorry for making this awkward. And sorry for
Let's just.
having.
How about we both mutually agree that we're just gonna forgive each other for this, because I think every bit here has just gotten too far for all of us.
Well, at the very least, we can talk about boys later.
I'll see what I can do. I would really appreciate if you didn't tell anyone that.
Well, don't tell anyone that I'm learning witchcraft, and I think that we are. And I think that we have a deal.
I reach out my hand, which encompasses hers as we shake.
The ghost who has been following you guys since Kimball's looks over to Nathan and says, "Do you think she'd be willing to pay some attention to me?"
You know what? We're actually going to have a ritual this coming up week, and I can introduce you to all sorts of people who would be very interested in you.
The ghost lights up happily. And I think this is where we should end. In scene.
Alrighty.
All right, so let's do our aspirations. Who wants to go first?
I can. All right, so get to know Josie. Well, I met Josie's brother. I think that's a step.
Yeah.
Drill the hole. I took a step towards that by attempting to find equipment, and also by Dee trying to help us figure out the ritual. Look into my family tree. I did that in day actions, so step incomplete.
Yeah.
Gargle Dee's nuts. Well, I did eat the peanut butter, or the peanut brittle. And meet Josie's brother. I absolutely did that.
Yes.
Okay, that's me.
All right, who's next?
Get scouted for college hockey. I don't think I actually did anything that's going to get me closer on that during my downtime actions. So I think I may just be literally out of luck on that one.
Fair enough.
Find a way to put the Undertaker underground. I picked up the Call, which has increased my combat power substantially, and also we've got D helping us. Of D's Nuts fame.
I don't know what the Mad Undertaker did to you.
Not... Sorry, what is the man who's, the guy who used to,
Be a mortician.
Yeah, I will change...
Sorry.
I will change that happily. Have a conversation someone else didn't want to have. Last time I ran into D, they abjured the fuck out of me. So now we are able to. And make some long-term decisions. Well, we have apparently figured out where we're going with dear ol' Crunch Quest third placer. Because it seems like we have gotten Arc out on that. And speaking of which, kick a man while he's down. I don't know how else you describe him getting a trash can pulled on his head while he's being threatened for his life.
Fair enough. All right. And tips?
Get out of Whispering Peaks. Yeah, I'd say that wrapping up loose ends, working towards wrapping up loose ends and stuff like that would be progress towards getting ready to leave.
Not only that, but you also spent a bunch of time working with the kind of people who can help you get out of here.
Yep. See here, I don't believe I made any progress on my speed run. Let's see here. Get old man Houlihan to join the crew. Think I can step and clear that one. Okay, and then who wrote the Necronauticon? Step and clear that one.
Hydrate everybody.
God, do we need it?
Yeah. Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
And then I'd like to step and clear, humiliate Kimball.
Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job of that.
That's me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming to join us today. We're always glad to see you here. Void, there is a channel in our Discord for the Create a Ghost. Just put your idea there. That's all I need.
And
All right.
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We're back on schedule. Thanks again for bearing with us during this difficult time for me.
All right.
Have a good one.